ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Dear blessed aspirants, previous week we didn't have a class. After 15 days, we are having again class on Tattvabodha. As we all know, by this time, the statement which I often say is might have highlighted for all of you that Tattvabodha is a preliminary text, basic text to study Advaita Vedanta. After discussing about three types of bodies, subtle body, gross body, and also causal body, and after discussing three types of states of existence or experience, that is Jagrat, the waking state, Swapna, the dream state, and Sushupti Avastha, the deep sleep state. And in the previous class, we did discuss about the Panchakoshas, the five-layered personality, that is Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha, that is food sheath and vital air sheath, Manomaya Kosha, the mind sheath, Vijnanamaya Kosha, the intellect sheath, and Anandamaya Kosha, the bliss sheath. At the end of the class, I did mention why I am supposed to study all these things. The author is trying to make us understand whatever we are thinking wrongly due to ignorance, that I am body, I am senses, I am mind. Sometimes I connect myself with I am intellect, and sometimes I feel that I am emotions, so on and so forth. So to remove this misconception, to remove the wrong conception, the author has tried to explain the anatma part, that is the non-soul part, that I am not the physical body, I am not the causal body, I am not the subtle body, etc., etc. Then you may feel, or you may question, or you may think, oh Swamiji, then the author could have straight away, he could have told the truth. Who am I or what I am? Okay, I am that Atman, I am that Brahman, I am that Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. So he could have explained it directly. Why he spent so much time in explaining all these things, and why you took 3 classes to explain all these things. However, the author may tell, the sages are been telling, and we are hearing that we are Atman or we are Brahman, we are the soul, the spirit, not the body, not the mind, but unfortunately, we are unable to understand. I mean, intellectually we may understand, but as a matter of fact, as a matter of experience, we are unable to have it because of wrong notion, because of delusion, and because we are not fit aspirants. So, whatever I am with wrong because of erroneous knowledge, because of misconception, because of delusion, whatever I am thinking as I am the Atman, I am the Brahman, so the author is trying to explain the nature of it or from the material which is made up of, and so is trying to remove the misconception. The moment the misconception is removed from our mind, from our thinking, from us, then the knowledge dawns. That's why the author tried to explain what is this physical body and what is the subtle body, what is the causal body, what is this waking state, and what is the dream state, what is the deep sleep state, so on and so forth. The author's intention in explaining all these things, or our intention in studying all these things, is only to know that I am not all of them. To make us understand, to make our understanding still clear, the author has tried all of these things. Then the question may come, then who I am? What I am? The same question may come to our mind. Even the author also presupposes this type of question may come to spiritual aspirants. For the students of philosophy, he himself starts that question, Atma tarhi kaha. Then, tarhi, then, Atma, Atman kaha, what is? Then what is the Atman? Saha Sachidananda Swarupaha, otherwise Tat Sachidananda Swarupaha. It is the nature of existence, knowledge, bliss. So what I am, who I am, what is my real nature? You said you are not the physical body, you are not the subtle body, you are not the causal body, so on and so forth. Then what I am, what is my nature? Means the author is telling that my nature is Sat Chit Ananda. That is existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. This is my real biodata. This is my real nature. But unfortunately, we are wrongly thinking I am something else. Now again, the question may come, why should the author is trying to explain all these things? The Upanishads have taken two methods mainly under the broad classification or broad canvas. He is trying to explain the truth in two ways, the sages. Why? Because the Atman is not an object, it is a subject. For an example, where is the computer? I can show pinpointedly. Where is the water? I can show pinpointedly. Where is the rock? I can show pinpointedly. Similarly, where is the atom? I cannot show pinpointedly from the naked eyes. I need some microscope or some different instrument through which I will be able to probably perceive, understand, or to see. But all of them are objects. There's a reason pinpointedly to certain extent, to larger extent, we can show them. But whereas the Atman is not an object, it is not an entity, it is not a matter, it is not a substance. So we cannot show it as a pinpointedly, we cannot show it. So this problem is there for all the sages and the philosophers to explain what is Atman is. So they have taken the two steps under broader classification. One is Soham, I am that. The other is Neti, I am not that. So when till now we studied three types of bodies, three states of existence, and five sheets which are covering the Atman or spirit, we said, that's all comes under Neti path, Neti Marga. The path of I am not this, I am not that, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Na iti, I am not this. I am not this physical body. I am not this subtle body. I am not this causal body. And I am the experiencer, no doubt, but I am not the experiencer who what I am mistaking as a Jagrata Avastha, under the dream state and deep sleep state. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Then showing or explaining through the Neti Marga, I am not this, negation. Now the author is switching over to the Soham Marga, I am that or I am this. Saha Aham, that is called Soham. I am that, I am that, I am that. So what is that I am that? I am that means I am Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha. I am existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. Now, from the Neti Marga, the author is trying to, he has switched over to Soham Marga. That means what? Author is trying to explain my real nature, what I am or who am I. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. Three words are there. Sat Chit Ananda. Now let us try to understand these three words. The moment we understand, the moment we comprehend, the moment if we are able to have an intellectual conviction then our spiritual progress will be quickened, and it gives lot of confidence, it gives lot of mental peace, and it works as a de-stress in all our mundane life, so on and so forth. So it is very powerful. I may be from any walk of life, but the moment I understand this Sat Chit Ananda, what it is, and when the moment I get convinced about this, then it gives a tremendous confidence in me, tremendous peace in me, tremendous joy, happiness, bliss in me, and it can act as the strength to overcome many problems, intellectual problem, mental problem, emotional problem, so on and so forth. So, understanding my real nature, what I am, who I am, is very, very important. It is a paramount in the life. Then, what is Sat? Sat Kim? Kalatrayepi tishtati iti Sat. So the author is telling Sat means it is that which remains unchanged in the three periods of time. Sat or the existence is that which remains unchanged in three periods of time. What are these three periods? Past, present, and future. For an example, a year or 5 years before, now you take the photograph of yourself, and 5 years before, you take a photograph. And 10 years before, you take a photograph. Now, if you see 10 years before, 5 years before, and now, there's a lot of similarity, no doubt, but there will be change in your face, in the hair, or maybe sometimes you might have hair loss might be there, and the facial expression might have changed. Some, for if you have become old, then slowly it might have been wrinkled and black patches, so on and so forth. So much change has happened in this physical body. And say for an example, now you are a 40 or 50 years aged person, 60 years before you were not there. Like John was not there 50 years before. Tom, 50 years before, he was not there. Mary, 60 years before, she was not there. Then after 50, 60 years, again, neither Tom, nor Jerry, nor Mary, they will not be there. Only at present, we are there, they are there. That means what? In the past, they were not there, so many years before. And after so many years, again, they will not be there. But only at the present time, they are there. That means what? They are not permanent. They are temporary. Either the Mary or the Tom or a Jerry, so on and so forth, they are all temporary because they have got a date of birth and date of expiry or date of death is there. That means what? They are temporary in nature. They are not permanent. So none of us, we are permanent because this physical body has got a date of manufacture and date of expiry. That is what death means. But Sat means what? The existence means what? It should exist in the past, it should exist in the present, and it should exist in the future. Hundreds years before, yes, it existed. 500 years before, yes, it existed. 10,000 years before, yet, yes, it was. 100,000 years before, yes, it was. 1 million years before, yes, it was there. And today, it is there. Tomorrow, it is there. After 10 years, it will be there. After 100 years, yes, it will be there. After 1,000 years, yes, it will be there. After 10,000 years, yes, it will be there. After 10 billion years, yes, it is there. That's what we mean. The past and present and the future at all three times, whichever exists, that is what Sat means. It is a permanent entity, and that is my real nature. Now you can say, how is it, Swamiji? How is it possible? I mean, hundreds million years before it was there, you were saying, and now I am there, fine. But after 100 million years, again it will be there, means what? How it is? It is a very interesting question too. Probably I will give an example. A golden bangle. I ordered in the goldsmith shop I went and I ordered a particular design I selected and I gave my measurement of my hand and I said, can you prepare a golden bangle for me? Golden bangles because we wear for two, especially ladies. If gents, it is only used for one. I give a measurement, and he purchases a lump of gold or a gold biscuit or whatever. He prepares whatever the design we had selected, chosen. He prepares a bangle or bangles, and he gives for us, and we pay so many euros and we purchase it. Then after some time, a decade or so, we had some problem and we had a money problem. So we thought, okay, we will go and sell it. And we sold the bangle. And the person, when he weighs, he doesn't bother about the design. He doesn't bother about the measurement of the bangle. He only weighs and he sees how much gold is there in that. Based on that, he will pay the money, so much money for you. And before this bangle came into existence, it was gold. And the goldsmith, again, someone asks for some other design, he melts it. He melts that golden bangle and he takes that gold and he again uses the same gold and he prepares the different either bangle or the ring or nose ring or earrings or somewhat. Earlier it was gold, now also it is gold, and afterwards also it will be gold. Only the name and form, the name bangle and the form of round color, round shape, that was not there, but it is there, and afterwards it will not be there. The gold exists some years before and now also, and after some years it may change its shape, but gold exists. But comparatively, the gold is eternal comparatively with respect to name and form. Similarly, with the clay, a potter brings the clay, he duffs it, he cleans it, he waters it, and he makes a stamp on it, and he prepares different types of pots, and he bakes it and he sells. Before preparing all these things, it was clay, and after preparing a pot, yes, it is a clay. Clay has got a definite shape, and it has, due to its shape, we call it by a particular name. After some years of using, it got damaged and we threw it. And people were walking and the vehicles was walking, etc., etc. Again, or it was crushed into dust and again it became a clay. Earlier also it was clay. When during the pot, when we were using as a pot, that time also it was a clay. And after the pot was destroyed, no doubt. The pot has lost its form, no doubt, and we threw it and it was crushed into pieces and it was crushed into dust, but the clay was existing, isn't it? At all three times, before preparing the pot, after preparing the pot, and after its destruction, the clay was same, but only the name and form was changed. So similarly, I am that existenceness behind all the things, behind every object, that is I am. But unfortunately, I am unable to understand who I am. And why I have got this wrong notion? Because when the Atman is seen with the goggle of time and space causation, then it appears as individual soul. Or what am I experiencing as individual soul or embodied soul? That is what Atman plus Maya. So what is Maya? Contextually, I would like to say that Atman plus time-space causation. So Sat means what? It is existence. I exist, you exist, it exists. So many things are existing. Behind all that, there is called existence-ness. The existence-ness itself is I am. Probably I'll give one more example to make you clear. I saw a yellow rose, fine. And again, there's a red rose, fine. There's a blue color rose. There's a white colored rose. There is orange colored rose, so on and so forth. There are probably 10 to 15 or 50 varieties of roses. And every has got different colors. And I use some chemicals. As a result, they all of them, they get discolored. Red rose lost its red, yellow rose lost its yellow. All their colors was removed and it became everyone was blank. But still, red rose cannot be called as red rose, but it can be called as rose. Why? Because it lost its only red color, but not as a rose. Until otherwise it gets changed itself, either as a sunflower or a daffodil or a tulip or whatever. It is called rose. Similarly, yellow rose. I cannot call it as yellow rose, but I can call it as a rose. Similarly, blue rose, I cannot call it as a blue rose, I can call it as a rose. Among all this variety of 50 varieties of roses, the roseness is common. That's why all of them are of one family. All of them are one category called rose. Similarly with the lily. Because the lily-ness is there in all varieties of lily. The colors may change, the petal shapes may be changing. There may be little smaller, bigger, whatever so, but they're all lilies. Similarly with the cows, I've got a black colored cow, red colored cow, mixed colored cow, white colored cow, brown colored cow. The colors may change, the sizes may change, the varieties they change, but the cowness is constant in same in all that. That's why they are called cows. Similarly with the buffalo, similarly with the ox, similarly with the horse. So it is with one Samanya Lakshana we say in Nayayika philosophy, Indian logic, Indian syllogism. So similarly, but this existence-ness is there in everything, in everything. That is what my nature also, that existence means to be or being. Oh, being, we all say, what is that? That means what? Sat. Existence, existence. I want to exist, I want to exist, we all feel. Why? Because that is my nature. For an example, I do some charity, 10,000 euros I will give, and some donors they feel that okay, my photo should be put somewhere, or my name a plaque which exhibits my name that I am the donor and so much money I gave, it should be exhibited in a prominent place. After so many years, who knows who I am? Like okay, John has given 11,000 euros, but after 100 years or 200 years, who knows who is that John? But still we expect. Why? Because we feel that I exist always, I exist permanently. Why is that notion we have got? Because my real nature is called existence, that is Sat. I exist always as a Atman, but not as this physical body, or not as this individual soul, or not as this embedded soul. That I want to exist, I want to exist, this basic desire, which is there in every being, in every animal, in every bird, in every human being. Why? Because my nature itself is existence, but unfortunately, that existence is seen in different places. It has been wrongly perceived. It is misconceived. For an example, to be or not to be, being or becoming, all these type of phrases we are using today with respect to consciousness, with respect to personal development, with respect to psychology, all these things, they all come from this one word called Sat, that is existence. I want to exist. Probably whoever studied the Indian mythology, there we come across stories of different demons or different people. They meditated for hundreds of years. And afterwards, when the Brahma Deva, that is the god of the creator, the god creator, he appeared. What do you want the boon? They used to say, oh, please bless me that I want to live eternally on this earth. I should not die. Then the god used to say, oh, accept that, you can ask anything else. Then they used to make permutation combinations. I should not get death from the animal, from the beast, or from the weapon, or from the human being, or from the gods or goddesses, so on and so forth. But somewhere they used to have a lacuna. That means what? I want to exist at all times, eternally. The desire, why it is coming from my mind? Because my nature itself is existence. But unfortunately, my existence, I am misconceiving with my body and mind. That's what. I have to remove that. My real nature itself is existence. I don't need anything else to exist. But unfortunately, we are unable to understand. Then three words among the three words. One is Sat, we have understood. Now let me try to understand, or let us try to understand what is Chit. Chit means it is Chit Kim. What is Chit? Dhyana Swarupa. It is the nature of absolute knowledge. It is consciousness. It is awareness. And today there is so much, either in India, of course, a lot of research has been done earlier itself. Now, as an academical study in the Western world, they are doing a lot of research on this consciousness, whether consciousness is an entity, or it is a subject, or it is an object, or whether it is in the brain, or where it is, and what is its nature, etc., etc., etc. Consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. This is what Chit means. Awareness. Are you aware? What are you doing? We say that. There we use that awareness with respect to mind. So consciousness, absolute knowledge, or absolute awareness, all these things can be used for this one word called chit. No human being would like to be called as a fool. However, he is illiterate or literate, whether he is well read, well informed or not, but no one would like to call him or her as a fool or ignorant. Every, everyone likes to be called as I am a knowledgeable person, I am knowledgeable person, I am knowledgeable person. Why? Because my real nature is, my inherent nature itself is awareness, consciousness, and knowledge. Here we can remember the Aristotle's definition about human being. Man is a rational animal. I always search for truth. Today, empirical science is searching for truth. Similarly, the spiritual science also is searching for truth. And I want to know what is ocean, what is there inside the ocean. And I take a stone, what is its composition, what it is made up of, etc. etc. And with the help of the empirical science, we have studied this earth, we have studied the planets, we have studied the solar system, we have studied the cosmology, we have studied the universe, and so on and so forth. And still we are not feeling enough. We want to study more and more, more and more, either internally or externally. Why? Because my real nature is knowledge. By knowing the knowledge of the ocean, I may not get emancipation, self-realization. I may be a knowledgeable person. For that, probably I may get bread and butter, life, no doubt, livelihood. But the moment I understand who am I, that my real nature is Chit, then only I can be full free, eternally free from all these problems, from these clutches of Maya, or from this samsara, that is birth and death. I exist. I exist. If someone says, do you exist? Immediately we gave a retarding reply. Yes, I exist. What do you mean by that? Why? Because I am Sat. Oh, are you intelligent? I don't think. Immediately say, yes, I am. What makes you to say this? I am in my own way. Yes, I have got a lot of knowledge. Why not? I am an intelligent person. We say that. Why? Because my real nature is Chit, that is knowledge, absolute knowledge, or consciousness, or awareness. I want to be happy at all times. I want to have a happy, bliss, etc. etc. Why? Because my real nature is blissful. That is what? Ananda, which we see. So that Sat exists at all times, at all levels of existence, at all states of experience. And the one more thing, the Chit with respect to Swami Vivekananda makes a beautiful remark or observation is that knowledge is internal in nature. I think the Greek philosophy says that mind is tabula rasa, that Swami Vivekananda, he pushes it. He doesn't say that. He says that no, it is not. Why? Because whatever the knowledge, either the empirical knowledge or the spiritual knowledge, everything is inherent in ourselves. Because our real nature is Chit. He gives a beautiful example of Newton's discovery, or Albert Einstein or Newton. All these scientists, they discovered so many things. What made them to discover? For example, Newton discovered the gravitational force. The story goes like this. Every one of us probably may be knowing. Newton sat under the apple tree and he was thinking something. An apple fell on his head. Probably if we were there, we would have seen here and there, no one was there. Immediately we have enjoyed the apple by eating. But Newton started thinking why the apple fell. It could have stayed there. It could have gone here and there, but it fell. Why? 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 This one thought, one question, it lingered in his mind. He caught that thought, that question, and he started studying his own mind. Sequence of thoughts, sequence of ideas came in his mind, and slowly he discovered gravitational force. That means what? He didn't create. It was there already in the universe. It was existing already in the universe, but he only discovered, he only invented. So if a person is called intelligent person, wise person, that means what? He has removed so much the thick wall of ignorance on his mind. And if a man is called is a dull-headed fellow, is an ignorant person, he doesn't know anything means what? He has not labored, he has not worked hard to remove the veil of ignorance which is covering on his soul or on his mind. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. See, by this idea that my real nature is chit, that is knowledge, it gives a lot of, it shows the signs of infinite possibilities. Means even I can be the Aristotle like, I can be Socrates, I can be like Einstein, I can be Newton, or any great scientist, great mathematician like Srinivas Ramanujan, or great anthropologist today. The greatest person who is very known to be a very knowledgeable person, very wise person, etc., etc. We all feel great about them. Yes, we also can become like that. That's what this idea, this theory will make us to understand. Why? Because knowledge is inherent in nature. Knowledge is internal in nature. Every knowledge, either spiritual knowledge or secular knowledge, that is inherent in every soul, in every spirit, in everyone's mind. It is in the mind. So by trying, we can also become knowledgeable people with respect to spiritual knowledge or secular knowledge. But here, what we are saying that my real nature is, my inherent nature is chit, that is knowledge or awareness or consciousness. Then be at present. Miracle of mindfulness, Thich Nhat Hanh. Recently, the great monk, he passed away. So be at present, mindfulness, we all say. Why? Because my real nature is awareness, consciousness. When I say that I'm mindful, with full of awareness while I'm doing, probably I'm eating, I'm drinking, I'm sleeping, or I am meditating, all these things when I do with awareness, what happens? The quality of work, the quality of action will be improved a lot. Unfortunately, we are not aware that we are unconscious. I am unconscious about my unconscious. I'm not aware who am I all the time. Forget about that soul or Atman or Brahman. Even I'm a human being. I'm a teacher. I'm so and so, whatever is there, we are not aware of at all times. There is a reason sometimes, what are you behaving? How are you behaving? Are you aware of who are you? Immediately we come to consciousness and says, oh, okay, I'm so and so. I'm not supposed to behave like this. So even in this mundane life, even in the day-to-day life, we are most of the time we are forgetting that who are we? I'm a human being. I'm so and so. I'm not supposed to behave like this. It doesn't befit me. It doesn't befit him. It doesn't befit her. But unfortunately, we don't think because we are unconscious. Our life is with full of unconscious living. So we have to be conscious. That means what? Be at present. That means what? Mindfulness. That is what awareness, consciousness, that is what chit is, chit aspect of our personality or of our nature. Then the third word, sat is over, chit is over, the third word, ananda. What is ananda? Ananda kaha. What is ananda? Sukha. It is of the nature of absolute happiness. Though it is called sukha, sometimes it is, if they don't know properly, it is translated as a pleasure. It is not a pleasure, it is happiness. According to me, even it is not happiness, it is bliss. Why? Why not pleasure? Why not happiness? Why it is bliss? Because there's a lot of difference between, of course, it's a limitation of the word also, but there is a lot of difference between pleasure, happiness, and bliss. When the sense gratification is done, that is what pleasure. For an example, I'm riding a bike with good speed. I'm enjoying a ride, bike ride. That's a pleasure. I like dark chocolate. I'm enjoying the dark chocolate. That's a pleasure. Here, the pleasure depends on the things, external world, external objects. And it is short term, it is short duration. The pleasure, it is also a part of happiness, or a certain amount of happiness is there here, but it is very short duration, short time. When I'm eating a chocolate, when I was eating the chocolate, I felt happiness. After some time, again, no, it goes away. So it is what pleasure. Then happiness. For an example, I want to become a doctor. I studied well, and I finished my MBBS. I finished my graduation. Now I've been called as a doctor. I feel very happy. But again, once I get into practice, there are a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of adverse circumstances it comes. Then I said, my goodness, why did I take this profession? I was happy. I'm happy even at the time when someone calls me as a doctor. I feel happy. But the problems, whatever I face from that, I said, my goodness, why did I select this profession? Okay, it is not good. Similarly with every profession, of course. Here also, my happiness depends on something, but an achievement or something. But here, the happiness is more, it has got a long duration. Compared to pleasure, here the happiness which comes through the achievement or whatever, here it is, the duration is more than the bliss. I am blissful, Ananda, I am blissful. To be blissful, to be happy, I don't need anything else. I don't need money. I don't need power. I don't need position. I don't need name. I don't need fame. I don't need any objects. My nature is Ananda. My nature itself is blissful. So I don't need anything. I am happy with myself. For example, when mind is very calm, quiet, serene, when I go and sit probably seeing the blue, white sky or sitting at the probably Atlantic Ocean and seeing the beautiful ocean, I'll be enjoying. Or I go to the forest, beautiful forest is there, just sitting there, my mind has become calm and it is enjoying itself. So it doesn't need anything. They are external stimuli, that's all. But I'm enjoying with myself. I don't need anything else. Oh, I don't need anything else. I don't want anyone else. I'm happy with myself. Just certain this type of experience, every one of us, at some point of time, definitely we will have. So this is what we mean. There, it doesn't need anything, but it is temporary there, of course. But the moment I understand who I am, that my real nature is happy, my real nature is blissful, then I can, that happiness, that bliss is real bliss, and it is eternal in nature. But unfortunately, knowingly or unknowingly, we are trying to find the happiness in the external world, in the external objects, in the people, in the different people, so on and so forth. After some time, we understand that the happiness, whatever we derive from the objects and from the people, from the external world and its products, it is all short-termed, short-lived. It is not so. Then slowly, the thinking starts. Then where it is, slowly. When we go inside and when we understand that the happiness doesn't exist in the world or in the world objects, rather it is in myself, it is in me, because that is my nature and I am really happy. Happiness or blissful. Bliss is my nature. That's what we understand finally. That means what? It is the fundamental nature of every being. Either it may be animal or a bird or a beast or a human being. It is this Ananda is the fundamental nature. But they are not aware. We are aware, but we have to be, it has to become the matter of fact. And the happiness does not lie in the object itself, rather it belongs to the self. This is a very, very important point. How? No. Say for an example, I like dark chocolate. Yes, I like dark chocolate. So when I see dark chocolate, I see so happy. And someone gets dark chocolate. Oh, Swami, take, you like dark chocolate, so here is a dark chocolate. I feel so happy and I eat it. And there is one more brother, monastic brother, monk, he doesn't like dark chocolate. When the devotee gives, Swami, will you mind to take one more dark chocolate? One more dark chocolate is there for you. He says, no, I'm not bothered. I'm not interested. I don't enjoy. I don't relinquish. Then I may say, how is it that possible? You don't enjoy the dark chocolate, how it is? He says, yes, I'm not interested. See, the happiness I derive from the dark chocolate, the same experience he doesn't have. He says that I'm not interested in dark chocolate. Then the happiness, whether it resides in the dark chocolate or in me, it resides in me. Because I desire for it, that's why when I consume the dark chocolate, I feel that it gives so much joy for me. But the dark chocolate is not giving me the happiness. It is my mind or myself it is giving because I desire it. Whereas for him, since he doesn't desire, so he doesn't get happiness from consuming dark chocolate. That means what? The objects do not possess neither happiness nor sorrow by themselves. The external objects, the external people, the external world, it neither possesses happiness nor the sorrow by itself. It has only different appeal to different people or to the same person at different time. It is very, very important. For example, when I was small, when I was a kid, when I was a child, I used to love toys. When the toys were given, a new toy was brought from my mother or father and they gave, we feel so happy, joyful. We used to jump with a lot of fun and all. But now, today, if someone gives me a toy, I said, okay, fine, and I will put it somewhere. I don't bother. The same toy which gave me so much joy 20, 30 years before, now the same toy is not giving the joy anymore for me. How is it? Why it is? Because I've changed. My mind is changed. My desires are changed. My wants are changed. The value for the things are changed. That's why the world, it is neither gives happiness nor the sorrow. It is only how we react, how we desire them. That's it. Because the happiness resides in me only, and that is my real nature. It is neither in the world, nor in the worldly objects, nor in other people. So this is what understanding. So Sat means existence, Chit means consciousness or knowledge, Ananda means happiness or even love, we can say. Sri Ramakrishna tells that wherever the Gnani goes, whatever the Gnani attains, the same thing is also attained by Bhakta, the devotee. Whoever has studied the classical philosophy, Indian classical philosophy, non-dualistic philosophy, and qualified monoism and dualism, dualistic philosophy, they will not be able to accept this. How is it? Because in the non-dualistic philosophy, in the Advaita philosophy, they say knowledge is supreme. And in the qualified monoism, there is Vishishta Advaita and Dvaita, the dualistic philosophy. They all say Bhakti, the devotion is the supreme. Then you are saying that by following the Gnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, the aspirant, wherever he reaches, the same place is also reached by the spiritual aspirant who practices the path of love, the path of devotion. How is it? Sri Ramakrishna himself says. How? We can understand here very clearly. What is that? The Gnani, the wise person, he lay greater stress on his aspect of Chit, that is knowledge or awareness or consciousness, while the Bhakta keep the aspect of Ananda or love more in view. So, but no sooner is the essence of Chit realized, then the essence of Ananda is also realized, and vice versa. Because what is Chit is verily the same as Ananda. Though Sat and Chit and Ananda, they are not the three aspects of the Brahman, or it is not compartmentalization, it is only one thing. Just to describe the nature of the Atman or Brahman, we are using these three words, Sat, Chit, Ananda. They are not the three components or three compartmentalization, three branches, three aspects. We can say three aspects, but it is not the three parts of the Brahman. And in the Brahma Sutra, the logical treatise written by the great sage Vedavyasa, he tells that the bliss should be understood as all pervasive because it is the nature of the Brahman or the Atman or the soul, and it is all pervasive. And everything, in everything and in everywhere, there is bliss. The whole world is full of bliss. That's what the greatest people, men of intellect, men of wise wisdom, have enjoyed it. They were not able to see any defect in the world, in the creation or in the God. So there is no problem of evil at all for them. But for us, we have God. Why? Because our perceptions are not real. The same thing we can see in the Rig Veda mantra. Madhuvata rutayate maduksharanti sindava. Means the air spreads sweetness, the water exudes sweetness, everything is sweetness. So the whole thing, everything is Ananda, Ananda, Ananda Jagat. The whole world is full of bliss. But unfortunately, we are not able to understand. Why? Because of ignorance. Now, after telling all these things, then slowly the author will go to explain what the world is. Microcosmos. Till then, what is individual? Spirit is told. Yes, but it is not is different from body, is different from three states of experience, etc., etc. The whole I or the individual soul and individual soul, whatever he has got experience based on his experience and whatever he possesses, all these things has been explained. Now, the question may come to a spiritual aspirant that whatever the world I am seeing, what it is then? What is the nature of this world, empirical world which I am seeing? And they say that there are 14 worlds, there are so many galaxies, and there may be so many universes, of course. So, what is its nature? How it came into existence? When it came into existence? Who created it? How it came into existence? All these questions we have. Generally, Big Bang Theory, all these things are, that's what they're trying to explain all these things. So even philosophy also has tried to explain what is this cosmos, what is this universe, how this creation came into existence, and how this world came into existence, who created it, and what is the process it happened. All these things are told. In my next class, I will be taking that. I will probably 1 or 2 points I would like to tell. So when I understand the 3 states of experience and 3 types of bodies and 5 layers, that is anatma portion, and atma portion, that is the self portion. After understanding, I should understand that I am the experiencer and the world is experienced. Why I am Atman, it is fine, and why they are all Anatman also should be understood properly here. Probably in some class I will try to discuss these things in detail in one of the class, but now just to make you still more clear understanding, I am taking this point. I am the experiencer and the world is experienced. The world are the worldly objects, they are all experienced. For example, I'm experiencing the pen, I'm experiencing the vehicle, I'm experiencing the table, I'm experiencing the computer. When I'm experiencing the computer, I cannot be the computer. Similarly, when I'm experiencing this physical body, I cannot be the physical body. I say that I have got a mind, means I'm experiencing the mind. I say that I have got emotions, that means what I'm experiencing the emotions. I say that I have got intellect. I am an intelligent person, I have got intellect. I'm a wise person, fine, yes. So that means I'm experiencing the wisdom there. That means what? That is all experienced. So that means what? The world and worldly objects, body, minds, intellect, emotions, all these things are experienceable and they're experienced. That means what? I am different from all these things because I am the experiencer and they are all experienced. So I am the observer and they are all observed. That means what? When I am the experiencer and they are all experienced, I am free from the attributes of them. They are temporary in nature, etc., etc., etc. All these things, whatever it comes. Limitations of all the world and worldly objects, that doesn't come to me because I am the experiencer and they are experienced. There's a beautifully, Shankaracharya has written a stotra. There the meaning goes like Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. Naja Shrotra Jivhe, Nacha Grana Netre, so on and so forth. The meaning goes like this. I am not the mind, nor the intellect, neither the ego, nor the subconscious. I am also not the ear, nor the tongue, nor the nose, and nor the eye. I am neither the ether, nor the earth, nor the fire, nor the air. I am the form of pure bliss. I am universal consciousness. I am Satchitananda. Shivoham, 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 Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am the form of pure bliss. I am the universal consciousness. I am Satchitananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. The world is experienced, experienceable. I am the experiencer, so I cannot be the world. Similarly, the body, mind, all these things are experienceable, means I am the experiencer. That's why I am different from all these things, either the world, worldly objects, and even with my respect to body, mind, senses, intellect, emotions also. So probably you have got an idea about who am I and who I am not, what I am not. So in the next class, we will try to understand what is the nature of this world, empirical world, which we are seeing every day, which we are experiencing, and what is its nature, how it came into existence from the philosophical angle. The scientist gives a different explanation, but here we are trying to understand the philosophical angle that we have to understand. By knowing all these things, what will happen? We will derive right understanding, proper understanding, and we will go nearer the truth. The moment we go nearer the truth, then we'll be able to face even the death. The fear of death is the greatest problem for all of us, which is called abhinivesha. in the Sanskrit. Even we will be able to face the fear of death. And whatever the problems we may get, to face all of them, I will be able to get ready. I will be able to face all of them, and I can be the happiest person at all given circumstances. That's why we have to study philosophy. That's why we have to know the truth. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.